It's Cruise Day! You join us outside a very quiet Horizon terminal in Southampton.
Yes, we've just done bag drop ahead of our 5-night sailing on Fred Olsen Balmoral.
The oldest ship currently sailing out of the UK.
Yes, but before going any further, for those of you that are new here, we are Travels with David.
And Mark. We bring you along for weekly cruise and travel related videos, and in this series we're bringing you along for our first time on Fred Olsen.
Yes, there have been some changes.
Yeah, we should have been sailing to Antwerp with an overnight and then Rouen with an overnight.
And we should be on the ship already.
But we're not.
More on that later. You'll have to stick around to find out what's gone on.
Embarkation day has gone awry. That's what's gone on.
It has. Anyway, it's quite cold here.
I'm freezing and we've got about 3-4 hours to kill before we board, so we're going to go
4 hours.
We're going to go and see what to do. So we might wander around in Southampton. We'll see.
You'll find out when we do.
Bye. Well, we passed a little bit of time there in the bar.
We did. The West Quay shopping centre is very close.
It's very close.
I would say 10-15 minute walk.
Yes.
And then we saw that there was an all-bar one there. So
I've had a pint on the channel. Don't see that very often,
you do not.
you?
I had a cider. You don't see that very often.
I'll be honest, it's gone straight to my head. Oh. Anyway.
Yay!
We're heading back to the port now.
Yes, we're going to try something that we wouldn't advise.
No, don't take our word for this.
But we think it might be a bit quiet.
Yeah, we've decided we're going to go back to the terminal. If it's quiet, we'll try our luck.
If we can check in before our time, because we're not due to check in until 7:30 this evening, and it's currently 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try our luck.
If it's busy, then we won't. Like we will say, never try and do your boarding before your time when it's busy, because that's not fair on anyone.
No. So who knows if we'll get in or not?
Yeah.
If we don't, we're going to sit in the car.
Yeah, because it's really, really cold. I'm wrapped up. I look like I'm on a geography field trip.
Yeah, so if it doesn't work and we can't check in, we're going to sit in the car for a bit, watch something on Netflix. Or something maybe.
Yes, but anyway, you'll next see us on the ship. We're a little bit hesitant slightly. So if you watch our other videos, you'll know that the last 2 ships that we did were old ships.
Old.
And as you said, this one is the oldest in the UK.
This ship is older than I am.
We realised, so it was built in 1988.
And I was born in 1989, so...
Yeah, it has had a lot of refits since then, and quite a substantial one last year or the year before. So let's see what it's like.
A lot of refits is a bit of an understatement. In 2007, she was actually cut in half and extended by 30 metres. So as we headed back to the terminal, after a bit of a scare before check-in, more on that later, we were excited to step on board this 38-year-old vessel. She now holds approximately 1,300 guests across 700 cabins, making her the smallest ship we've sailed on. Stepping on board, we arrived into the ship's lower atrium on deck 6, and it immediately felt like home. Calm, relaxed and elegant, even with the number of patterned fabrics on show, which we were actually big fans of. The Oriental tea room wraps around the staircase and felt like the perfect place to sit back and enjoy a quiet tea. But for now, we were just passing through, heading to our room, a short walk away on deck 4.
And we've made it on board.
We managed to board about 2 hours before our dedicated embarkation time.
Yeah, they had someone at the entrance to the terminal saying, we've caught up time, so go straight through.
Yes.
And didn't even check our boarding times or anything.
No, so we didn't break any rules.
Nope.
But we did have a little bit of a scare.
We've had a right kerfuffle.
We have had a kerfuffle.
So we upgraded our cabin yesterday, and for £90 for the whole trip, we've gone from an interior cabin to an ocean view with a picture window.
Yes.
Which I'm very happy with.
Yeah. However, what we didn't realise is that if you upgrade the day before the cruise, it throws all their systems off.
Yes, so we got here and we
got to go to get into security. They were checking everyone's name against the manifest.
Yes.
To let you into security. And she's like, your name's not on the list.
I have to get my supervisor. So Supervisor Sue, God bless her, went up to check in, came back down, and she's like, you've cancelled, haven't you? We're like, no.
No, definitely not cancelled.
We upgraded yesterday.
Yeah.
So anyway, went up. There were some bits where they had to check, like they had to reboot systems and things, so it would update with our new cabin. But we're here now.
Hey presto, our names appeared and we are now on board.
We are now on board. There are still some bits that I think are going to reveal themselves as being quite funny.
We're slightly nervous.
Because, so we'd booked some stuff before. So we've booked Colours and Tastes, we've booked the Martini Experience, we've booked some things. And now I'm worried that they're not going to be there because we've just had some tickets for an excursion delivered to our room that are clearly for the people that were in this room that have cancelled or rebooked.
Yeah, so we're not named Colin or
Pamela. Which one's which? Let us know in the comments below. Who looks like a Pamela?
Our other worry is that obviously what we handed our luggage in earlier, is that going to make it on board?
Who knows?
Knows, but yes.
That did have our cabin number on it though, handwritten.
Yeah, that's true.
We might be in this for the next 5 days.
I feel like we need to go and get a drink. I feel it was such, when they said we'd cancelled, we were like, that's not what you want to hear just before you get on the ship.
No.
And so we had a bit of a roller coaster of like, not emotions, because it wasn't that dramatic. We knew we hadn't cancelled, so it was never going to be an issue, but it was still draining.
It was. But we're in the cabin now, and I will say, first impressions of the cabin.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's set up in the wrong configuration, but we will talk to them about that.
Yeah, well, we want it in a double, and this one, we specifically picked this cabin because it can be. Not all cabins can go to double, some are fixed twins, but this can be, so we're going to get them to change that. But, like, decor-wise, the bathroom is lovely.
It's one of the nicest cabins we've been in.
Yeah.
Which is fabulous, considering the age of the ship.
But that must be what, when you talked about it doing its...
Big refurb.
Really very impressed so far. So, we need to go get a drink.
Speak to Sailor Services. Sort some bits and bobs.
Make sure everything that we booked is still...
booked.
For us, and not Pamela.
Pamela might want to drink now.
Yes. Bye. That's my thing to do. We've changed a tyre.
We have changed a tyre. Look at all.
Yes. So we've been to guest services. It does seem like none of the reservations we made for the previous cabin we have transferred over, apart from specialty dining.
Yes.
But fair play to the crew.
Yeah, they've sorted it.
They've taken it. They've sorted it. We've just had a call to confirm everything is moved over and as it was.
All sorted. And
all good.
Our luggage has arrived to the correct cabin.
Yes.
Which is why we've been able to change. So
that's
there
correct.
There you go.
So after guest services, we went to the
Morning Light Pub.
Located on Deck 7, the Morning Light Pub is named after a historic 1892 Olsen ship. This one. The space feels like a proper British pub. Warm, welcoming, with a huge drink selection and plenty of comfy seating. Add in the friendly staff, and we could already tell this would be our go-to spot, whether that's for a relaxed daytime drink or live music at night.
Lovely space.
Do you know, we'll talk a bit more about our first impressions a little later, but a bit of a spoiler. We're really impressed.
So far, so good.
I'm so pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was that venue is a very calm, cozy space.
Yes,
lovely. And when we were there, we met up with Tom and Dom.
We did, yes, and Lizzie and Laura,
Sisters on the Seas, also known as.
Yes.
So we had a few drinks with those guys, which was lovely. Had a little chit chat. They've gone off for their evening. We're going to go in for dinner.
We're hungry.
We're
a bit hungry.
We are quite hungry now.
Yes. Well, while we were in the pub. I don't know if we've said we've got the drinks package.
No, I don't think so. We paid for the premium drinks package. It was £40 per person per night. I think we're going to make our money back.
Well, yeah, and watch along, because at the end of the series we'll let you know if we think that was worthwhile. Especially because in 2026, Fred have introduced the Freedom Fare?
The Freedom Fare, which includes there's wines and things.
Beers at dinner and
lunch. Yes.
Lunch and dinner. Dinner and tea. Depends where you're from. So yeah, we'll let you know if you still need a drinks package.
Or not, yeah.
I think we all will. But anyway.
But we also wanted to touch on, because we've been teasing you throughout this video about what the changes are that have impacted Embarkation Day.
What's gone wrong with Embarkation, other than our upgrade situation, cancelled cruise situation.
Yes.
Outside of that.
Yes. So essentially what happened was, the sailing before this one, there was an outbreak of gastroenteritis.
On board.
So that
running through the cabins like...
diarrhea? Two on the nose. Anyway, that meant they had to do a deep clean, which we completely understand and respect. But that did mean that we were told a couple of days ago that our embarkation times would be delayed by 5 hours.
5 hours, yeah. So we should have been getting on the ship at 2:30, pushed back to 7:30. As we said, guest safety is paramount, so we understand.
We do. That also meant that they've had to cancel our trip to Antwerp, which is sad because that's one of the reasons we booked this.
Yeah.
And instead, they're going to...
Well, if you're a frequent cruiser out of the UK, you'll understand why we were a bit excited about Antwerp, because the routes out of the UK are quite similar normally.
Yes, it's either Le Havre or
Rotterdam,
Hamburg, or Zeebrugge.
And
we're going to Zeebrugge. So we're not sure if we're going to get off or not yet. We'll see how that transpires.
Yeah, but outside of the port change, there's also a few little bits and bobs that have changed on board.
Yes, so the hot tubs are closed, which we're sad about, because it's cold outside, and there's nothing better than a hot tub in cold weather.
Yeah.
So they're closed for health reasons.
And some of the the onboard entertainment is going to be a little bit lighter, so that they reduce kind of touch points and don't put their staff at risk, which we understand.
We do.
We'll see how we get on.
We'll see how we get on. And I will say one thing, and I don't think this is a controversial opinion, but it might be. Wash your hands, people.
Yes, because as we said, we completely understand that these things have had to change and that they need to do a deep clean for guest safety. Get it, completely get it. But it's just annoying that it's entirely preventable if you just wash your hands. And
we've seen it on cruises before where we've been in the men's toilets and people leave the toilets without washing their hands. And
you do see it around.
It should be socially acceptable to go, excuse me.
Well, I think we should start doing that.
Maybe we should. We're starting a movement, people. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, because if you don't, and these things spread through the ship, like diarrhea, it impacts on everyone else's cruise.
It does.
And not just your cruise, the next person's cruise.
Because they have to deep clean, and people can't get on for 5 hours.
Anyway,
on that note...
Enough of this negativity. Stop being so negative, David.
But... All this talk of diarrhea has made me hungry, so let's go get some food.
Bye.
Dining on Fred Olsen is still very traditional. You're assigned an early or late sitting and a set table number for your sailing. But because of the earlier issues, we didn't know our table number, so headed to the largest of the 3 dining rooms to find out. Ballindalloch, located on deck 6, is bright, open and filled with natural light, with a good mix of table sizes. Interestingly, you can order from the menu at your table or head up to one of the buffet stations, which generally offers the same options. On our sailing though, the buffet was served to you, reducing the risk of germs spreading. Table number acquired, we headed up to deck 10 and to Spey, our allocated restaurant. Spey and Avon are both smaller and quieter. We chose this dining room at the time of booking because it offers more tables for 2 rather than those shared tables. Due to everyone boarding late, allocated table numbers weren't actually being upheld tonight, so technically we needn't have rushed to find ours, but at least we had it sorted for future evenings. Anyway, David, tell us what you think of the lamb.
That is very tasty and very tender. You probably saw it was falling off the bone. Very impressed.
I just need to say I agree, that lamb is beautiful. So tender, lovely. And now I'm on to mine, butter chicken. That's delicious. Honestly, that's so tasty. The chicken is so tender, not dry, so tasty. I'm impressed. Sorry, I was looking at David. I am impressed.
With everyone finally on board and muster cleared, we made our way up to deck 11 for sail away. We'll show you more of the pool areas a little later, but for now we're heading to the aft to watch us depart Southampton en route to Zeebrugge. It was absolutely freezing tonight, so after a quick look at the funnel and accidentally filming someone on their balcony, we retreated inside to the Observation Bar, also on deck 11. It's that classic forward-facing bar we've come to love on older ships, and somewhere we ended up spending quite a lot of time on this sailing.
So I've noticed something on the drinks menu. So on here it says, Red Bull is not included in our premium drinks package. All of the drinks on this page are included. One of the things is a can of still water. I think still water we might be able to get in our drinks package. I'm going to test it. We'll get back to you. This might be a game changer. Oh, sorry. I was too busy drinking the bottle of water that's included in the drinks package. That tastes... Hope you can hear me with the loud noises. That tastes exactly like fruit pastels, which I'm here for. That is delicious.
Up next, we're off to see Groove and Glitter in the Neptune Lounge on Deck 7. It's the main performance space on board, and the first proper lounge-style venue we've stepped into. This isn't your traditional theatre layout. The stage can actually be lowered to create a dance floor depending on the event. And because it's a lounge, the chairs swivel, which is great for socialising, slightly awkward if you don't know the people joining you though. We also loved the reserved seating for guests with limited mobility, complete with companion chairs, and any venue with a proper place to put your drinks gets a tick from us. For the size of the ship, it's an impressive space with plenty of seats all offering a great view. We couldn't film tonight's show, but we'll tell you all about it shortly. Although evenings on board felt fairly relaxed, Fred Olsen offers a great variety of entertainment across the ship, from pianists and guitarists to string trios, so there was always something happening, even if the atmosphere was more laid back than lively.
Right, you're on. You are?
Feels oh, okay, Emily Bishop.
It is warm.
Good morning.
Good morning to you all.
Yes.
We're feeling quite croaky this morning, so apologies if we are sounding a little bit dull.
Yes. Tom and Dom and Sisters on the Seas are to blame because we were sat in the observatory chatting with them until about 1 a.m.
Which was 2 a.m. because the clocks went forwards.
So, their fault. So, thank you.
Well, we last left you, I think, we're going for dinner, right?
Yes. So, you'll have seen our reactions to the main courses, but we didn't talk about the starters and desserts. Overall,
really, really good.
Very impressed.
Yeah. For starter, I had it was called a seafood cocktail. So I was thinking, it's just going to be a prawn cocktail, like 1970s standard prawn cocktail. It was not.
No.
Actual seafood in there. There was mussels.
I think it was a lobster.
Lobster.
Or langoustine or something like that.
Bit of squid, I think, as well.
Mm.
Which, if I'd have known it, I probably wouldn't have chose that because I'm not a massive fish, seafoody person.
Mm.
But it was really tasty. I liked it.
Yes, and I had the parsnip velouté. And again, very tasty.
Really, really tasty.
And it seems to be a good thing that they didn't have all the soup sloshed down the side of the bowl that we've had
Cunard.
Like on Cunard. But no, very, very tasty.
Yeah, and then desserts, when they arrived, we thought, oh no.
They looked like
verging on school dinner.
That we've had the issue with desserts, like it's been similar on other cruise lines, but they did not taste that way.
Really tasty. I had the lemon sponge.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
I had the peach melba. I will say their vanilla ice cream is gorgeous, and you can see flecks of vanilla in it, so it's I think it's done well.
Yeah. So overall, we said very impressed.
Very impressed.
Big thumbs up.
One thing I also really liked is because we got the premium drinks package, we could choose. There was a page in the wine menu that we could choose from rather than just having the house wine that you would normally get with the Freedom Fare. And there was a good selection, and we chose ours. And then when he came in to top up, he brought both the bottles and was carrying. And it was like
to show us that
It's like, would you like some more? And it was the service.
We will talk about our first impressions a little later.
Yes,
and we've already given a spoiler, but another spoiler. The service is phenomenal.
Yes,
the staff are so friendly.
Nanette, who is our cabin steward, is lovely. Can't for the life of her figure out which one is which. She's calling me Mark, she's calling you David, but that's understandable. At least she's not calling me Pamela.
True.
Which she could do, because we're in Pamela's cabin.
Anyway, we're jabbering. What did we do after that? We went to the show. Did we go to the show then?
Yes. So yeah, we did dinner, and then we went to... Well, I think we did dinner, then we went to the observatory for a drink.
We did. And you saw all this because we showed you David drinking his bottle of water.
Yes. And then we went to the show, which was called
Groovy
Glitter and Groove. I think it was Glitter and Groove. And in the itinerary, it said it was like Motown and disco.
Disco, yes.
And you love
I do.
Motown.
Well, I probably already said this. We couldn't film anything. They said at the start, no filming, strictly no filming. So we didn't.
And I didn't fancy getting punched again. So
it's upgraded from a slap.
It's upgraded now from the slap to the punch. No, it was a slap. But I didn't want to be assaulted, so we didn't. So we can't show you any of it, but we can talk about it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, Mark?
I love the music, as we just said. I love Motown type music.
The soundtrack,
really good. Just quite weak.
Yeah, it wasn't for us. We didn't enjoy it. The cast, I feel bad saying it, the cast seemed like they were phoning it in a little bit. I think they've obviously done it a load of times. They must have done it so many times.
I think they're coming to the end of their contracts.
Oh, okay.
Just FYI.
So it did feel a bit lackluster.
A bit tired.
Being completely honest, the dancing and stuff, it was similar to what we thought about the ABBA show on Morella. It's very painting by numbers.
Very basic. Just how many times can you do the sort of like move?
I did say when we came out, I was like, what in the GCSE drama school did we just watch?
Oh, I feel bad for saying that.
I know, but it's how it...
Yeah, and as we say, it might be for someone else. It just wasn't for us.
It just wasn't for us.
I did think, because I loved that venue. Really nice
Beautiful venue.
You're very... We were on the front row. You're very close to the people. Mm-hmm. And I did wonder, because you're so close to the action, you can't hide anything. Like, it's very much... You're there. Yeah, whereas if it was a bigger venue and you were sat further back and they were on stage away, it might have looked a bit more visually spectacular.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, it wasn't for us, but that seems, so far, that's the only thing that we've been a bit like, ugh. Everything else we've been really impressed by.
Yeah. Another spoiler for our first impressions.
It's almost like we don't plan these things.
And then as we said, we ended the night back in the Observatory Lounge.
Yes.
With Tom, Dom and Lizzie and Laura. So
yes.
Lovely evening.
Lovely evening. And we saw Lynn.
Lynn, I think it's Lynn Jones. It wasn't Jones.
You made a very wide dispersion because she's Welsh.
Well.
Assuming that she's called Jones.
What is her name?
Lawrence. Lynn Lawrence.
She was fab on the piano.
Yeah, she's hilarious. Yeah. Like in her bits in between, like her interaction with the audience is fab. And so impressive that she'll take requests and will get the music up on a tablet and we'll just play on the piano. I don't know how people do that and how you're playing and singing and potentially playing a piece of music you've not seen before.
So impressive.
So impressive.
Yeah.
She gave us slight Fascinating Ida vibes. Yeah, so if you know that reference.
If you know Dilly Keane and them.
Yeah, specifically Dilly Keane, I think. Yeah. Which we mean as the biggest compliment.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been distracted because I've just noticed if you can see the picture frame.
The picture's
has fallen down.
Fallen down inside the frame and revealed the tape.
Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. But that was
Squirrel.
But yes, that was our evening. And then this morning we've got up, been for a coffee.
Yeah, we had a late one. We had a late start this morning. 1, because we had a late finish yesterday. 2, my alarm didn't go off.
Well, it did go off, and then we reset it, and then it didn't go off.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's boring, isn't it?
So yeah, we went for a coffee and I had a tea.
In the Bookmark Cafe.
Located midship on Deck 7, Bookmark Cafe is your go-to for specialty teas and coffees. It has such a cosy, inviting feel, and the most amount of seating we've ever seen on a cruise ship. One thing this ship is definitely not short of is seating. If by some odd twist of luck you can't find a seat in the cafe itself, just outside is the upper atrium area with even more seating and larger tables for group activities. We chose to sit just outside the cafe, surrounded by plants and right next door to the card room. Another lovely quirk of classic older cruise ships.
Beautiful place.
Beautiful place. The only thing is the hot drinks are not included in the premium drinks
which I think is slightly strange. You can obviously get tea and coffee, like basic tea and coffee, in the buffet in the restaurants, which is included. But the specialty coffees aren't.
But the tea was lovely. It was a proper loose leaf tea. Gorgeous.
Really nice, yeah.
But we are currently sailing into port in Zeebrugge. We have found out that there is a free shuttle from the ship to Bruges, which I am over the moon about.
We're absolutely doing that, but you'll see that in the next video.
You shall. But for now, we're going to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because The restaurant, I think the actual name of the restaurant is Ballindalloch.
Ballindalloch.
But we can't see it and not hear the classic meme of Ballindalloch.
Ballindalloch.
Jesse from Little Mix. Ballindalloch. Insert clip.
Oh, Ballindalloch.
Ballindalloch.
So that's where we're off for our dinner. Apparently it's a Sunday roast you can have, so...
Yeah, and just know, for the rest of this series, we will be calling that restaurant Ballindalloch. That's what we've been doing this whole time.
Anyway, let's go for dinner. Then we're going to have a wander of the ship, because we haven't really explored much of it. So come along with us.
If you know, you know. So we've been back to the cabin and put our coats on.
Yes, because we're going to head outside, and it's cold. I hope we're not too noisy.
Well, how would you do that?
You have to call me Russell.
So it's very cold, which is why we went to go put the coats on.
Yes.
But we wanted to tell you about dinner.
That was
lunch
so...
even,
lunch. That was so lovely, so tasty.
Gorgeous. I'm a big goat cheese person, so the goat's cheese and beetroot salad thing was beautiful.
I'm not a goat's cheese fan, I've got to be honest. Does anyone... why... It's the only food...
Only cheese.
No, food. I think I'm going to go bold. It's the only food that tastes like the smell of the animal that it comes from. I can't not taste goat. Yeah. The smell of goat. Anyway, I had the vegetable broth to start with, which is really tasty.
Yeah.
The roast beef dinner, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Very flavourful.
Proper homemade Yorkshire puddings.
Ooh, yes.
They were good.
Gorgeous. And then the dessert, fantastic. That was so tasty.
Russian honey cake, it was called.
Yeah.
And it was divine.
I think, Fred Olsen, you have booked the trend in our verdict of cruise desserts.
Desserts being school dinners.
Because these are lovely.
Yeah. So far.
Yeah.
Still time.
Anyway, we're going to have a little explore. We're currently on the promenade deck 7, having a little walk around to the back of the ship.
Yes.
We're going to have an explore. So come along. This is very blue.
It's really cold.
Because it's blue.
Because it's blue. It's gone colder since it's gone blue.
Oh, is the pool heated? Can we go in the pool? The hot tubs are closed. Oh, I think it's heated.
The promenade deck on Balmoral is a full wraparound, so you can wander around whilst admiring the classic tiered aft, or stroll right to the very front of the ship for stunning views over the bow. She really is a great example of a traditional cruise ship, and considering her size, we were genuinely surprised to find 2 decent sized swimming pools, each with 2 hot tubs. The other pool is up on the top deck, we'll show you that shortly. The outdoor deck spaces are another Balmoral highlight. They're vast, with so much room to take in the scenery as you sail. The ship feels intentionally designed to keep you facing the sea, so you'll never forget you're travelling by ship, unlike some of the newer ships. After a quick selfie with the funnel, we headed through to the second pool. We can imagine this being such a lovely space on a warmer weather sailing. The glass windbreakers did a decent job of sheltering the area, and if those hot tubs had have been open, we'd have been straight in.
And we're back in the room
after our wanderings around the ship.
Yes. We'd not been really to the back of the ship so far. Beautiful.
It's stunning.
The tiered...
Yeah, we love a tiered rear.
The tieredness is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I dipped my hand in the pool. The pool is heated. Whether or not we shall go in it is another matter.
Yeah, probably not.
Because it's warm while you're in there, but then you do have to get out.
Very cold.
Very, very cold. Anyway, I suppose that brings us on to first impressions of the ship.
Yeah, first time on Fred Olsen. What are you thinking so far?
So far, really enjoying it. I think I said to you last night, I was like, I didn't have being a Fred Olsen cruise person on my 2026 bingo card. Yeah. But if it continues the way it's going, I think we'll be back.
Yeah. And when David says that he didn't have us down as Fred Olsen cruisers, don't read between the lines. There's no malice in that.
Oh, no.
It's just we know we're not their target demographic.
No.
And that's, fine. But we're loving it so far.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised. I think because everything's calm. It's so chilled on board.
Yeah.
But there is atmosphere.
Yes, exactly. And there isn't necessarily a lot of things happening entertainment-wise.
No.
But there doesn't need to be, because everyone's like sitting around chatting, having a coffee, having a drink, and there's atmosphere. Yeah. And it makes it...
The interior spaces are open, which is unlike Morella. So you can sit, have a natter. You see people reading a book, or
It's really nice.
it's just a lovely vibe on board.
Yeah, because I guess as soon as you walk onto a ship, you do get an immediate vibe.
Yes.
And this ship has a really nice vibe and a nice feel, and that sets it up beautifully. Then that's your first impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're already onto a winner.
So we're very much enjoying it. So
Really,
far.
yeah, and considering it's built in 1988, you can tell like some of the fixtures and the interior, like not the soft furnishing, but the actual decor that's built in is very 80s. But I like it. It's well looked after, and it's kind of used as a bit of a heritage. Like they've incorporated it into redesigns that have happened.
And because you've got that, but then you've got also kind of modern soft furnishings and stuff, it really fits together well, and it doesn't feel like you're on an old ship.
No.
And the other thing that I think we both enjoy, plants.
There's so many plants around this ship, and it makes it feel beautiful.
It does makes it feel
I feel
fresh
like I've said beautiful a lot.
But it is.
It's a really, and it's just a lovely ship, and you can tell it's loved and it's cared for.
Exactly that.
Yeah, and our room, we probably said this earlier, we're lucky in that our room is a refurbed room. Not all of them are refurbed.
No.
But I'm so impressed with this cabin.
Yeah, it's really comfortable. The shower is very powerful. We encountered that this morning. It'll take a layer of skin off you, but that's what we want. And yeah, it's just all very well done.
Yeah.
And it feels homely.
Yes.
Very impressed.
Very impressed. And again, we probably mentioned this earlier when we did our little spoilers. The staff on board are fab. They are so friendly, so happy. They're talking to each other.
How they remember stuff, I don't know. Like, we went to the maitre d' yesterday to check something about, I think it was colours and tastes. We wanted to make sure that had moved across with the whole cabin debacle. And he asked for our cabin number then. And then we went back today because of the cabin stuff, our table number for dinner went to the old cabin, so we didn't know what our table number was. So we went back today and we walked up to him, and straight away I was like, it said our cabin number back to us, and we're like, how have you remembered that?
And they remember your names.
Yeah, we walked into Ballindalloch
Into Ballindalloch
earlier, and the lady greeting us was like, "Oh, hi, David and Mark," and we're like, "What?"
Hi. It's lovely.
Yeah, very well done. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of this video, because we are currently getting ready to head into Bruges. But that'll be on the next video.
Yes.
So we will leave you here. So
Yes.
if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, consider subscribing.
Yes.
And also consider if you want to join our membership tier, it just helps us bring more of these lovely videos to you.
It does. But if you have enjoyed this video, if the Bruges video is available, it will be
Over my
here.
face.
It will be around
And
here.
if it's not available, YouTube thinks you might like this video, so give that one a watch. If you fancy it, we'll see you over there. If not, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.